The Great Hall of the Galactic Union was silent. Thousands of alien leaders stood in perfect order. Bright lights floated above them. Symbols of power glowed on the walls. This ceremony was not just important. It was dangerous, for the first time. In history, humans were here. Lyra stood at the center of the platform. She was young, even by her people's standards. Her skin shimmered with soft silver light. Her eyes reflected the data streams moving through the air. She was the chosen one. As a royal diplomat, her duty was simple. Greet the humans. Follow the ancient rules. Avoid mistakes. One wrong action could start a war. Lyra had studied humans. For many cycles, they were loud, they were emotional. They were unpredictable. That made them frightening. Across the hall, the human delegation waited. Captain Ethan Hawley stood at the front. Tall, broad shoulders, simple uniform. No weapons visible. He did not look afraid. That worried the elders. A low tone echoed through the hall. The ceremony had begun. Lyra stepped forward slowly. Her movements were calm and precise. Her people believed control was strength. The humans were instructed to remain still. No sudden motion. No physical contact. Especially no physical contact. Touch, in Lyra's culture, was sacred. It was reserved for bonding rituals. For life pairing. For moments of deep trust. Touching royalty without permission was unthinkable. Lyra raised her hand. The symbol of peace appeared between them. She began the greeting. On behalf of the Galactic Union, she said, we welcome the human species. Her voice was smooth and emotionless. Perfect. Captain Ethan listened carefully. He understood the words, but not the weight behind them. As Lyra finished the final phrase, the moment came. The humans were expected to bow. A small movement. Nothing more. Ethan hesitated. He looked at Lyra. She looked nervous. Her sensors showed controlled fear. High stress, hidden curiosity. Something about her felt human. Ethan remembered Earth ceremonies. When tension was high. When words were not enough. He took one step forward. The elders noticed. Alien. Guards stiffened. Lyra's heart rate increased. Ethan smiled. Then he did the unthinkable. He opened his arms and pulled Lyra into a hug. The hall froze. Sound vanished. Time stopped. Alien guards raised their weapons instantly. Energy blades hummed to life. Defense systems locked onto the human. Lyra's mind went blank. This was not in the records. Not in any simulation. She felt pressure around her. Shoulders, warmth, steady breathing. Her body reacted. Before her mind could, her sensors overloaded. This was not an attack. This was not dominance. It felt safe. Ethan realized his mistake too late. He began to pull away, but Lyra did not let go. The elders stared in horror. Royal contact was happening, without protocol. Yet, no harm followed. Lyra slowly placed her hands on Ethan's back. The crowd gasped. No alien had ever done this before. Her thoughts raced. Why did this feel right? Why did her fear fade? Why did her heart feel calm? Ethan whispered softly, I'm sorry. I thought you needed comfort. Comfort. The word echoed in Lyra's mind. Aliens did not comfort. They corrected, they controlled. But humans felt. Lyra stepped back carefully. The guards waited for her command. She looked at the elders, then at the humans. Then she raised her hand. Stand down, she said. Shock rippled through the hall. Weapons powered down. Ethan bowed quickly. I meant no disrespect, he said. Lyra studied him. No lies detected, no aggression. Only concern. Something changed inside her. The ceremony was broken. The rules were shattered. Yet for the first time, the galaxy felt closer. Lyra turned to the council. The greeting is complete, she said. The elders were speechless. The humans were confused. The observers were terrified. And somewhere deep within the Galactic Union, a future had shifted, because a human chose a hug over a salute, and an alien. Royal did not pull away. The galaxy did not sleep that night. News spread faster than light. Every screen showed the same image. A human holding an alien royal in his arms. To many species, it was an insult. To others, it was madness. To Lyra, it was something she could not explain. She stood alone in her private chamber. The walls changed color with her thoughts. Yet her mind was not calm. Her people valued control above all else. Emotion was weakness. Touch was dangerous. But when the human hugged her, nothing bad happened. Her fear faded. Her thoughts slowed. Her heart felt steady. That should not be possible. Lyra raised her hand and activated her personal recorder. Event analysis, she said softly. The data appeared in the air. Heart rate stabilized. Stress level reduced. Neural patterns unfamiliar. She stared at the final line. Emotional response detected. Lyra closed her eyes. This word was rarely used in official records. Emotion caused wars. Emotion caused chaos. Yet humans were full of it. Across the station, Captain Ethan sat in a small waiting room. 2 guards stood outside the door. He was not a prisoner. But he was not free either. Ethan rubbed his hands together. His heart was still racing. He replayed the moment again and again. The hug had felt natural, like something he had done his whole life. On Earth, hugs were simple. You hugged family. You hugged friends. You hugged someone who looked afraid. No one had told him it could change the galaxy. A screen turned on in front of him. An alien official appeared. You are aware, the official said, that your action violated sacred protocol. Ethan nodded. Yes, he replied. I understand now. Why did you do it? Ethan paused. Because she looked alone. The official did not respond. The screen went dark. Far above them, the Galactic Council gathered. This meeting was not public. Fear filled the chamber. One elder spoke first. Humans are dangerous, he said. They use touch as a weapon. Another disagreed. No, the royal showed no harm. A third voice interrupted. She allowed it. That is the real threat. All eyes turned to Lyra as she entered. She stood tall, calm, controlled. But inside, she was shaking. The human acted without permission, an elder said. This cannot be ignored. Lyra raised her hand. He did not act with aggression, she replied. He acted with concern. Silence followed. Concern is not logic, an elder snapped. It is weakness. Lyra looked at them. Is it? She asked. She projected her data into the air. Stress reduction, neural stability, positive biological change. The elders stared. This effect, Lyra continued, was caused by physical contact. Murmurs spread. That is impossible, one said. Yet it happened. Lyra replied. The council debated for hours. Some demanded punishment. Some demanded isolation of humans. Some demanded more study. Meanwhile, something strange began to happen. Alien workers who had seen the hug felt different. They spoke longer. They listened more. They questioned old rules. Emotion was spreading, not like a virus, like an idea. Lyra requested to see Ethan again. The guards hesitated, but agreed. Ethan stood as she entered. For a moment, neither spoke. I did not mean to dishonor you, Ethan said. I know. Lyra replied. She stepped closer, this time slowly, carefully. Why do humans touch? She asked. Ethan thought for a moment. Because words are not always enough, he said. Sometimes you need to feel you're not alone. Lyra processed this. Alone. She had always been surrounded by others. Yet she had never felt understood, until that moment. She extended her hand, not a command, not a ritual, a choice. Ethan hesitated. Is this allowed? He asked. Lyra nodded. I wish to understand, she said. Their hands touched. No alarm sounded. No guards moved. Only silence. And something else. Hope. Somewhere in the galaxy, old systems began to fail, not because of war, but because a new question was being asked. What if strength was not control, but connection? And what if humans, with all their emotions, were exactly what the galaxy needed? The first warning did not come from a weapon. It came from a heartbeat. Deep inside the Galactic Union station, alarms began to glow soft blue, not red. Not danger. Change detected. No one understood what that meant. Lyra stood inside the observation sphere, a clear room floating in space. Below her, humans and aliens moved together. This experiment was supposed to be simple. Study human behavior, measure risk, predict outcomes. But the results made no sense. Every time a human entered the room, alien stress levels dropped. Every time a human spoke kindly, neural patterns shifted. Every time a human touched another being, just a hand, a shoulder system showed improvement. Not control. Connection. Lyra watched Captain Ethan speak with a young alien technician. The technician's hands were shaking. Ethan noticed. He did not report it. He did not correct it. He placed a hand on the technician's shoulder. The shaking stopped. Lyra felt something tighten in her chest. This should not work. Aliens evolved without emotional bonding. They survived through logic, through distance, through rules. Humans were different. They walked toward danger. They touched pain. They felt first. The council demanded answers. How are humans doing this? An elder asked. They do not use technology. Lyra replied calmly. They use empathy. The word sounded strange in the chamber. Empathy is inefficient, another elder said. Lyra looked at the data. Yet it is effective. Across the station, fear was growing, not among humans, among aliens. Emotion was spreading. And they could not turn it off. Some alien leaders ordered distance protocols. No human contact. No shared spaces. The result was immediate. Stress rose. Productivity fell. Conflicts increased. The humans noticed. They always did. Ethan requested a meeting with Lyra. This is wrong, he said. You're pulling people apart. Lyra hesitated. You are changing us, she replied. That is frightening. Ethan nodded. I know, he said. But change doesn't have to be bad. Lyra studied his face. Humans showed emotion openly. Fear, hope, concern. Aliens hid everything. Why do humans feel so strongly? She asked. Ethan smiled sadly. Because we break, he said. And feeling is how we survive. Lyra processed this. Aliens avoided breaking. Humans accepted it. That made them dangerous. That made them powerful. A sudden alert flashed. Two alien factions were arguing, voices rising. Logic failing. Security prepared to intervene. Before they could, a human medic stepped between them. She did not shout. She did not threaten. She listened. Then she hugged both aliens. The crowd gasped. The argument ended. Silence replaced anger. The system flagged the event. Human emotional interference detected. The elders were furious. This must stop, one shouted. Humans are rewriting our nature. Lyra stood. No, she said. They are reminding us we have one. The chamber went silent. That statement had no logic. Only truth. That night, Lyra reviewed human history. Wars, loss, recovery. Every time humans faced extinction, they reached for each other. Not for power. For comfort. The realization hit her hard. Humans did not rule because they were strong. They survived because they cared. Message arrived. Human delegation preparing to leave. Isolation vote passed. Lyra felt something. New. Fear. Not of humans. Of losing them. She rushed to the docking bay. Ethan was there, watching the stars. There. Sending us home, he said. Lyra stepped closer. You are afraid? She asked. Ethan nodded. Double quotes. Yes, he said. But we'll be okay. Lyra made a decision, one that had no protocol. She opened her arms. The human gesture. Ethan froze, then smiled. They hugged. This time, no alarm sounded. The station systems adapted. New baseline established. Emotion was no longer an error. It was a variable. And humanity had just become something the galaxy never planned for. Not conquerors. Not rulers. But teachers of the heart. The trial began without warning. No banners. No ceremony. Only locked doors and armed guards. The Galactic Council Hall was filled with tension. Every seat was occupied. Every weapon was charged. This was not justice. This was fear pretending to be order. Captain Ethan stood alone in the center. No restraints. No shield. Humans did not kneel. Across from him, Lyra sat among the elders. Her face was calm. Her thoughts were not. The charge was simple, unauthorized emotional interference. A crime that did not exist until humans arrived. The head elder spoke. Human, he said, your species spreads instability. Ethan did not argue. We spread connection, he replied. A murmur ran through the hall. Connection was a dangerous word. You have altered alien behavior, another elder said. You have weakened our discipline. Ethan nodded. Double quotes. Yes, he said. We do that to ourselves too. The council did not like honesty. Images appeared in the air. Humans hugging. Humans calming fights. Humans touching. These actions. An elder said, bypass logic. Ethan looked up. Logic didn't stop your conflicts, he said, but kindness did. Weapons hummed softly. Lyra felt the room tilt toward violence. She stood. Let the data speak, she said. She displayed the numbers. Conflict reduction. Medical recovery improvement. System stability increased. It all linked to human presence. The elders stared. One whispered, this makes no sense. Lyra answered, neither does survival without change. The head elder turned cold. If humans are allowed to stay, he said, our culture will dissolve. Ethan met his gaze. Cultures don't dissolve from care, he said. They grow. That was enough. The elder raised his hand. Vote for removal. Lights appeared. Red, red. The final vote began. Then the impossible happened. An alien child ran into the hall. Guards moved to stop her. Lyra shouted, let her pass. The child was shaking, her breathing fast. She looked at Then she did what no alien child had ever done. She hugged him. The hall exploded in noise. Guards froze. Elders shouted. The child stopped shaking. Her breathing slowed. The station systems reacted. Stability rising. Lyra's voice cut through the chaos. This, she said, is the truth you are afraid of. The elder's voice cracked. We cannot control this. Lyra stepped forward. Neither can humans, she said. And yet they use it to heal. Silence followed. The vote lights changed. Red turned yellow. Yellow turned green. Humans would stay. But not without cost. They will be watched, an elder warned. Any mistake war. Ethan nodded. We've lived with that risk our whole history, he said. As the trial ended, Lyra walked beside him. You could have died, she said quietly. Ethan smiled. So could you, he replied. But you stood anyway. Lyra looked at the council one last time. They were not angry. They were afraid. Because humanity had proven something dangerous. That power was not always loud, not always violent, sometimes. It was gentle. And that terrified. Empires. It did not begin with humans. That was the most frightening part. The first alien cried, not in public. Not in fear, but alone. The medical scanners detected moisture from her eyes. The system flagged it as a biological error. Doctors rushed in. Pain? They asked. The alien shook her head. Then why are you leaking? A medic asked. She did not know how to answer. She only knew that her chest felt heavy. And somehow, lighter at the same time. Across the station, similar reports appeared. Aliens pausing in corridors. Voices breaking. Hands shaking. No injuries. No toxins. Just emotion. The council panicked. This is contamination, one elder shouted. The humans are infecting us. Isolation orders were issued. No human contact. No shared work. No conversation longer than 1 minute. The effect was immediate. Emotion did not stop. It grew. Lyra watched the data rise. Empathy spikes. Stress cycles breaking. Neural flexibility increasing. The galaxy was changing from the inside. She visited an alien family unit. The parents sat stiffly. Their child stood between them. The child was crying. Lyra asked softly, "Why is the child distressed?" The parent answered, confused, "She feels too much." Lyra knelt. She remembered Ethan's words. Sometimes words are not enough. She hesitated. Then she wrapped her arms around the child. Gasps filled the room. The child relaxed instantly. The crying stopped. The parents froze. Then, slowly, they hugged. Their child too. The system flagged the moment. Permanent emotional adaptation detected. Lyra's breath caught. There was no undoing this. Humans were called to emergency discussion. Ethan listened as the elders spoke. "You have changed us," one said. Ethan shook his head. "No," he replied. "We showed you something you already had." "That is worse," the elder answered. Emotion meant choice. Choice meant loss of control. The council feared that most of all. Outside the hall, protests formed. Some aliens demanded humans leave. Others demanded humans stay forever. Lines were drawn. Not by species. By belief. Lyra stood between them. She addressed the station. "Emotion is not weakness," she said. "It is information." The crowd listened. "When we feel pain," she continued, "we protect. When we feel joy, we connect." A human stepped forward. Then an alien. They stood side by side. Not touching, yet closer than ever before. The first mixed species medical team formed that day. Recovery rates doubled. Violence dropped. The council could no longer deny it. Emotion was not a threat. It was a force. But not everyone accepted it. A distant alien faction sent a warning. Emotion will destroy order. Prepare for cleansing, war. Signals appeared on deep space scanners. The room went quiet. Ethan looked at Lyra. "Now what?" he asked. Lyra answered without hesitation. "We stand together." For the first time in galactic history, humans were not behind alien shields. They stood in front. Not with weapons. With presence. Aliens felt it. A shared calm. A shared fear. A shared hope. The council realized too late. This was no longer about humans. It was about a galaxy learning how to feel. And once a heart wakes up, it never goes back to sleep. The war warning was real. Long-range scanners showed alien fleets moving. Not toward humans, toward everyone. The faction called it the pure order. They believed emotion was a disease. And humans were the source. The Galactic Union panicked. Defense lines formed. Weapons charged. Old alliances shook. Lyra stood before the tactical display. Thousands of ships blinked in red. "If they attack," an officer said, "we lose millions." Ethan watched quietly. Then he spoke. "Let us go first." The room turned toward him. "You have the weakest fleet," an elder said. Ethan nodded. "We do," he replied, "but we are not going to fight." Silence. Lyra felt fear rise again. "What do you plan to do?" she asked. Ethan met her eyes. "Stand in the way." The human ships moved out. No weapons powered up. No shields raised. Just open hulls and broadcast channels. The enemy fleet stopped. Confusion spread. Harsh alien voice filled the void. "Move aside," it demanded. "You are infected." Ethan's voice answered calmly. "We are human," he said. "We feel." The pure order laughed. Feeling makes you weak. Ethan did not argue. It makes us stay. He said that the enemy weapons locked on. Human ships did not move. Lyra's heart raced. One shot would end everything. Instead, Ethan opened all channels. He showed them Earth. Wars, loss, hospitals, hands held. In darkness, we break, Ethan said. And when we do, we reach for each other. A pause. Some enemy ships powered down sensors. Others hesitated. Emotion was not logical. That was the point. A punt. Pure order commander spoke softly. Our kind lost emotion long ago, it said. To survive, Ethan replied. We survived by keeping it. The silence stretched behind the humans. Alien fleets waited for the first time. Humans were not protected by others. They were the protection. Lyra felt it. The galaxy holding its breath. A single pure order. Ship moved forward. Then stopped. Its commander stepped into view. His voice was unsteady. I feel something, he said. That was all it took. Weapons shut down. Fleets turned away. The war ended without a shot. Lyra closed her eyes. The impossible had happened. Humans did not win by force. They won by refusing to move. Later, as the fleets dispersed, Lyra met Ethan again. You risked extinction, she said. Ethan smiled. We do that a lot, he replied. But why? She asked. Ethan looked at the stars. Because if we don't stand, he said, no one learns. How? The council made its decision. Humans would become interstellar mediators, not rulers. Not soldiers. Bridges. The galaxy changed its laws that day. Touch was no longer forbidden. Emotion was no longer hidden. It was studied, respected. And humanity earned a new name among the stars. The ones who stand. The galaxy changed quietly. No explosions. No victory songs. Just a moment that felt complete. Years passed after the near war. Trade routes reopened. Old enemies spoke again, and humans were always there, not at the front of armies. Not on thrones, but in the space between. Lyra stood on the same platform where it all began. The grand hall looked different now. No weapons visible. No fear in air. Species from across the stars gathered, some tall, some small, some made of light. All watching. Today was not a trial. It was a remembrance. The council had created a new ceremony. One without strict rules, a ceremony of choice. Lyra took a slow breath. She remembered the first hug, the shock, the silence. She smiled. Captain Ethan stood across from her, older now. Lines on his face. Still human. The crowd waited. No one announced what would happen next. That was the point. Lyra stepped forward, not as a royal, not as a diplomat. As herself. She opened her arms. The room held its breath. Ethan walked toward her. He did not rush. He did not bow. He hugged her. Applause did not come. Something better did. One by one, beings across the hall reached for each other. Tentacles wrapped gently. Hands touched shoulders. Light beings merged softly. No alarms. No fear. The galaxy remembered. A child asked her parent, "Why do we do this?" The parent answered, "Because humans taught us we could." The council recorded the moment, not as law, but as lesson. Humanity was given no crown, no empire. They were given a title. The heart of the Galactic Union. Lyra addressed the gathering. Once, we believed emotion was chaos, she said. Now we know it is connection. She looked at Ethan. Humans did not conquer us, she continued. They stayed when leaving was easier. Ethan felt something tighten in his chest. He did not speak. He did not need to. Later, as the hall emptied, Lyra and Ethan stood by the window. Stars moved slowly beyond the glass. Do humans still hug? Lyra asked. Ethan laughed softly. All the time, he said. She hesitated. Even when it is dangerous? Ethan nodded, especially then. Lyra placed her hand over his dot this time. It was not strange. It was normal. Far away. New species detected the Union for the first time. Their first message was short. Do you feel? The Union answered together. Yes. Thanks to humanity. And somewhere in the endless dark, a future grew warmer.